Howdy folks, welcome to my channel. I'm Blake and today I'm going to be walking you through my very first iOS app, the Serial app. So I'm actually going to start by taking you to the icon. So you can find the Serial app by looking for this little cartoon cereal bowl. And then once we click in, as you saw, we have a list here of different cereals with their logos and a picture of what the box looks like. So these are just sort of the compact views, and then if we want to find some more detailed information, we can click on into any one of these cells. So let's do that by looking at my personal favorite, Captain Crunch. So once we click into Captain Crunch, we see on this detailed view here, we have the same information as before with the box, the name, and the description. And then we also have a little bit more information where we have here the calorie count, and the sugars, and a standard serving of this cereal. We also see we have options for dairy milk and for soy milk, a standard serving of each. A bit more on that later. But then the next thing we have on here is this recipes link. And this, what it does is it links us to an external site where we can cook something with this cereal, not just milk and the cereal itself. We can actually make something else. So for Captain Crunch, we have these Captain Crunch treat bars, and I don't know about you, but they look pretty darn good to me. And so if we go back to the app, last thing we have on this list is a where to buy, which similarly gives us a link to an external site where we could buy our own supply. So here it's linked to Target, where we could go to good old Hyde Park Target and pick us up some Captain Crunch on the way home if we wanted to. Could also buy it online, but that's neither here nor there. Last thing I'll draw your attention to is these milk toggles. So like I said, these allow you to add to the nutrition facts a standard serving of dairy or soy milk. And one kind of nifty thing is when you click one while the other is already on, it turns it off. So by default, it only gives you one standard serving of milk, or not actually mixing the two. So now that we know kind of how the app works, let's take a look at how it is set up under the hood. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is our basic data object here, the serial class. So as you can see, a serial object is actually a collection of various strings and integers that represent the various data points that make up a specific type of serial within our app. And then the next thing that I will show you is the serial service. And so this functions as the back end of our app. So we're actually using Maki.io, which is an ultra convenient API mocking tool. We use this as our back end for the app, and that's what actually populates the main table with our data. So moving on through sort of the pipeline here, we're going to look at the list view controller. So the table view works by calling the serial service. Here we go. So when the table appears, we call the serial service, and it tries to basically pull that information from the API. If it's successful, it reloads the page. Otherwise, it shows us a little error message. And actually, one nifty thing here is that while it's loading, it shows the user an activity spinner to let us know it's still working. So I'm going to reload the app to show you that. And we see this little spinner there, pulled up relatively quickly, but that's just a nice thing to let our users know kind of what's going on in the system as they navigate through it. Next thing that I will draw your attention to is the detail view controller. So this is once we click into a specific cell, the list view controller sends it the selected data object. So actually, back in the list view controller, we have prepare right here, and this is where it sends the information to the detail view controller. So then the detail view controller has access to that specific serial's data. And what we do here is we basically just populate all the different fields within the detail view according to that serial. And we also control the milk logic here, which adds the calories and sugar count. And the last thing that I will show you is the main.storyboard. And this is where you can see each of our view controllers once it loads. This is where we build the layout of each page and add the visual elements that we control with code in each of the view controller classes. So here's where we sort of add the pieces, and in the view controllers we actually determine what logic to do with them. And that is it. So thanks so much for watching my video, and I hope you enjoy the app.